Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to today's edition of Intuitive Angling. And man, I really appreciate you guys spending some time with me watching the video. I know that everybody's really busy out there, so really appreciate you guys making some time for the video today. Guys, today we're going to be talking about poppers. The reason I wanted to do the video on this is I think that the month of May is probably the best month of the year to throw a popper, but really May and into early June. So we're going to go over that and give you guys some tips and advice on what to look for and some little nuances about popper fishing. I think it may add up some good action for you guys. Also, guys, just a quick invitation. Anybody out there interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, you can do that by going to my Facebook page, Randy Blockett Professional Angler. Just shoot me a private message. I'll get you all the details for that. So much appreciated. Okay, guys, we'll get into this a little bit here. Chuggers, man, poppers like this, the old Rebel Popper, these things have been around forever, man. They've been around since the early 80s probably. And there was a period, actually, an angler named Zell Rowland, who's one of the top pros to ever fished the Bassmaster circuit. Zell Rowland made this famous back in the 80s. In fact, he's got a signature series, Zell Rowland Popper. And there was a period of which there, when people started fishing that popper, that it just dominated the tournaments once they really figured out how to fish it. Because the big thing that came with popper fishing that really transcended it was the fact that people learned, what they did is the lip right here, they started filing this lip down. And by filing that lip down, the popper didn't like bloop, bloop. It allowed you to work it really fast and skitter it across the surface. So the concave mouth and the flattened lip on the bottom would allow you to work the bait pretty fast and get bloop, 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 and just, you know, almost like you can walk it side to side, but spitting at the same time. Looks just like a bait fish in the water as far as coming through there. Also, guys, first of all, I'll show you the three that I like here that we'll get into this. This is the Megabass Pop Max, which is one of my favorites, a little bit larger. Obviously, the attention to detail is a lot better than the old Rebel Popper. This is the big Rebel Popper here, so you can see the improvements just on the realism there. Also, guys, I'll link all these poppers in the description of the video through my Tackle Warehouse link if you guys want to pick up some. And this is a smaller version. This is called a Ken Pop here, but it's about the same size as a Megabass Pop X or just the regular Popper. So the poppers come in different sizes. And the main difference in the poppers as far as the sizes goes is the type of bloop they put out, because every popper puts out a little bit different bloop based upon how the concave construction on the heads is designed. So some of them, you know, catch a little bit more water, some of them spit more water, but these are my three favorite, guys. So the Megabass Pop Max, just the old standard Rebel Popper, and the Ken Pop here. Those are my three favorites. Okay, let's get into this a little bit about what you want to look for. The reason that a popper works really good in May, especially out there, is there's still a lot of fish shallow. And those fish, after they come off the beds and they're still shallow, they're hungry, but they're finicky. They're moody. They're skittish a little bit. They're stressed out from spawning. And a lot of times they don't want a big topwater. They want something a little bit smaller. And these poppers, even the bigger ones, are only 2.5 inches long. So this is about the perfect size of a bait fish. Now, there's a couple different advantages to working a popper that I like that makes it really a diverse bait based upon your water clarity. Here's some good tips and advice on there. If you're fishing in water clarity that's got a little bit of color in it, say for example you're fishing in a place that has 2 to 3 foot of visibility, which has got some stain to it, the thing that you can do with your chugger is you throw it out there and you don't want to work it fast. If you have stained water, throw the chugger to the bank and start working it, you know, down the rock bank you're fishing, or lay downs or grass beds or whatever it is, and fish it slower. Just go bloop, 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 and let it stop for a second. Bloop, 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 let it stop for a second. Those fish need some time to find the bait in that off-colored water. Since it's not going to be as much of a visual strike, they're going to be attracted to the noise. So the longer that you can keep it in one place, the better, especially if you have some type of an object, like a stump or the corner of a dock, or maybe the edge of a lily pad field, something like that. Now, as the water gets cleaner and clearer, that's when you have to move out of those particular areas. If the water gets clear, starting out, if the water's under 3 foot visibility, I'm fishing shallow bank cover with the popper. If it gets a little bit cleaner, say for example, if it's at sort of that 2 to maybe 3.5, close to 4 foot visibility, a lot of times I'm fishing shallow rocks, and riprap is one of my favorite places to fish a chugger in May. Guys, if you have any riprap on the lake you fish, excellent area for a chugger in low light conditions. Get out there on cloudy days with it, you know, early in the morning, late in the evening, especially if you can find riprap that's between boat docks, because what happens is this is a prime area for shad to spawn and bluegills to spawn, is on that riprap between docks. And this is one of my favorite things to do, is just take that popper, get out there early in the morning or on cloudy days, throw that popper down those riprap banks and just cover water with it between those docks, or bridge riprap or dam riprap or whatever. It works really good in that clarity. Now, if you're fishing clear water, like the water visibility is over 4 foot in the lake that you have, you can fish the popper more like a walking bait, because you don't need to keep it in one place, because you're trying to pull fish up to it for a visual strike. So if I'm fishing clear water, most of the time I'm fishing it with a faster pace. I'm just trying to walk it and just blooping it, almost skittering across the surface. I'm not really concerned about making a loud bloop. I want to spit water with it. And the way that you spit water with it is you throw it out there, keep your rod tip low, and just keep it moving, just like that. Boom, 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 boom. Don't stop it at all. And in that clear water, that's going to attract a lot more strikes, especially on the low light days. A popper that I have found, it's like when you're talking about the fishing conditions, different top waters work better under certain situations, because sometimes, like on a whopper plopper or a buzz bait, you know, you can catch them on sunny days in the shade and that type of deal. But a popper is one bait that I found that cloud cover and low light conditions make all the difference in the world. It's like you really need that cloud cover or shade. I very seldom have caught very many fish on a popper on a sunny bank or on the days that are like sunny out or bluebird. That's why for me, it's like that. Usually when I fish a popper in May, it's the bait I start out with, fishing the bank when there's still a lot of shade on the bank. And if it's cloudy or rainy, I'll fish it all day long. But guys, it's a bait that you don't hear people talking about it much, but it is a killer, man, for numbers, and you can catch big ones on it. I've had so much success all over the country on the popper. Probably the best I've ever done on a popper is if you guys fish Lake Norman in North Carolina. Lake Norman is a awesome popper lake, because you can fish it on seawalls and riprap, you know, on flat banks around docks. I've caught a ton of fish in May on a popper at Lake Norman, so anything like that. Most of the time, guys, I'm fishing it on 12 to 14 pound tests, monofilament line, a 6 foot 10 inch medium action bait cast rod. I use that Megabass 110 special model. It's got a sort of a softer tip on it. You do want a little bit shorter rod, under 7 feet, and you want something that's got a soft tip on it. Simply makes it easier to work the bait and to cast it. But the main thing is just throw it, guys. Just get your popper, get out there in low light conditions during the month of May, and you'll catch some fish on it. I can promise you guys, if you get out there early in the morning and you fish this thing on a riprap bank or on a shallow point, you're gonna catch some fish on it. But again, guys, I'll link all my poppers in my tackle warehouse link in the description if you guys want to pick up a couple, and hope it helps you guys catch a few. We'll talk later.